Okay, before I get started in today's video, this is a vlog, and you got to do vloggy type of things sometimes. I wanted to give you an update on the chainsaw. So yesterday's video, and I'll put an up next box at the end of this video to that video, we took this thing apart to see what was wrong with it, and we saw some gas lines had broken loose or came loose or whatever happened. And so I changed out the hose, the gas line, with some gasoline I already had from another chainsaw repair I did a couple of years ago. Anyway, we tried to start it. It started, it ran, but I had to have the choke all the way out. So that told me the carburetor was dirty. So I thought, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna do some maintenance on it. So I took the spark plug wire, or spark, you know, the wire, and I tried to pop it off the spark plug, and it just came apart in my hand. So that's what is remaining. Usually there's a little cap in there you stick on top of the spark plug. So I told you in that video that I probably wasn't gonna do anything more with this chainsaw because it's only like 130 bucks. So I googled it to see how much the chainsaw cost, and it's 165 now. So I think it's went up in price. I don't think we paid that much. I went ahead and looked for this piece because it's a whole assembly. The OEM part was $35, and I thought, yeah, that's too expensive. I talked to Carolyn about it, asked if it was worth it. No. Then I did a little bit more research and found an aftermarket one for $14. And I thought, what the heck? Yeah, let's go ahead and get it. So then I came out here and I took the carburetor off and I started soaking it in some gasoline because I was going to clean it to fix it up. So I was going to take that bottom piece off and fix it up. Well, I went back inside and I thought, you know what, I'm going to see how much a carburetor costs too. And it was $15. I thought, hey, what the heck, for 30 bucks I can get it all repaired. The cool thing about the spark plug was it came with all kinds of stuff: extra hoses, a new priming bulb, a new spark plug. So I thought, hey, what the heck, I mean, that's really cheap. Have all the maintenance items. I'm not going to replace everything. I'll replace the spark plug maybe. I mean, I'll keep the old one. I always keep old spark plugs just because in case something happens to the spark plug, I got one spare. Then I'll replace the carburetor, but I'll leave the lines, the gas lines, because it comes with new gas lines, as is, and I'll just repair those as needed, including the priming ball. I always have this theory when you're making mechanical repairs: do or take off the least as much as possible. The more you take off, the more you got to put back on, and sometimes you've got extra parts. I'm pretty happy with this, that I might be able to get this thing back up and running. Yeah, for 30 bucks, I don't think that's terrible. Or I can just go out and get another $165 one. So we'll see how it goes. Now, as you know, we've been through Armageddon around here with the rain. It's just terrible. So I've been unable to cut the grass because of all the rain. Well, finally, last night it was dry enough that I could at least, and this was about 7 o'clock at night, get the lower half of the property done. So I got all this done. I still probably should mow up here. I mow this about every other time because we never use that over there. I just keep the weeds down. And then I got to mow up here by the house in the camper, so not near as much to do now. But I just took my time and it actually went pretty smooth. The chickens are absolutely incredible when it comes to mowing. So we've had 3 groups of chickens so far since we've been here. And the first group, I don't remember too much about the mowing. I don't even think we had a riding mower then, I'm not sure. But the second group, I would mow and throw the grass into the chicken coop. Well, they hated it. They hated the mower. But after about, I don't know, 2 or 3, 4 or 5 mowings, they started getting more comfortable with it, Well, we butchered them. But we also had this group of chickens at the same time. So the first group would come out and eat all the grass, while the second group was trying to run away from the lawnmower. Well, they wouldn't get any grass. So when we got rid of the first group and kept this group, now they hear the lawnmower. They don't even have to see it. I'll start it up. They'll come running over, to eat the grass. The other day, the last time I mowed grass with the mower, I mean, I use this pretty hard, I got to admit, but I don't think I overuse it. I use it harder than most, I would think. But I got chains on this, and so I can get a lot of, I mean, I just don't get stuck anymore. I really don't. So there's a lot of steep hills on this property. So when I go onto the other side of the ditch, I can actually get up the other side of the ditch with this. There's no way you could do it without chains. And I've never had a problem, never. I think this causes me a lot of problems. I pick up a lot of sticks. That I don't realize. So the other day I went up that hill and it bogged down a little bit more than I thought I remembered before. Came up around, uh-oh, I got my first tear in the seat. So this thing is not as valuable as it used to be, but I got some Gorilla Glue. I'll get some Gorilla Glue on that so that doesn't rip anymore. Wonder how that happened. I guess it just gets brittle, who knows. So I came back around and came up here and it just didn't want to go. Something was wrong with the transmission. It would, every time I hit the pedal, it's got that hydrostatic gear in it, hydrostatic transmission. Every time I would hit the pedal, it would, and it would slowly build up speed. But when I hit reverse, it would just jump right in reverse. Well, I jumped off of it to see if I could see anything like a stick hanging off of it, because that happens a lot around here. And I didn't see anything, so I hit the reverse with my hand, hit the forward, hit the reverse, and whatever it was, that fixed it. I don't know what it was. So I've been a little leery that I've hurt the transmission. That's the second most expensive component on this lawnmower. I'm really not looking forward to replacing it. The motor being the most expensive. But it's really been a good lawnmower. I've only had one other lawnmower in my life, and it was a Murray. It lasted 10, well, it lasted longer than 10 years. I ended up selling it. And it was a fantastic mower. But this one, hands down, is so much better. I had another lawnmower. It was terrible. I bought two motors. It was Briggs, but it didn't have that oil pump in it. And I was on a hill. And I burned up both motors going up those hills. But the Murray, I used it hard, plow snow with it. So this one's just so much better. The battery, I've never replaced battery. I just leave it in, charge it up before I get ready to go, and off we'll go. So a lot of people have been talking about Armageddon getting ready to hit us here in Missouri, and that, you know, the end of my life is about to come to fruition because of the cicadas. That's right, we got two types of cicadas getting ready to hit us, and it's going to be absolutely terrible. We're not going to survive it. So of course we don't grow a garden, so I don't know how this is going to hurt us. The chickens love to eat cicadas. So Carolyn saw the first cicada today. Yeah, you can see that. So I said, hey, I want to get that on film. I'm going to give it to the chickens here. The thing is it reminds me of my childhood. I don't know if you can hear them in the background, but I can hear them. And I just love it. So I know everybody's all worried, and everything that happens is the government is at fault. We've never had cicadas before until this administration. Yep, went right for it. They're gonna love these cicadas. Off they run. I love how chickens do that. They grab it and run off and try to keep the other chickens away from it. Yep, she ate it. It's gone. The copperheads are gonna love it too. But the thing is, we've been here 4 years and I've never seen a copperhead here. That's not to say I won't. I've seen a lot of black snakes. Black snakes kill copperheads. Maybe that's why. I mean, I've seen a lot of black snakes. More than I would rather see. I mean, they're not harmful. They're huge. I had to kill a black snake once. It was probably 6 feet long. And he came out of hibernation. I know exactly where he was. I saw him. And this is before we had the well fixed up. There was concrete blocks kind of like this, and there was a stack of them. Like, it was an old house, went around. This was a concrete block house, and he was in one of those holes. Well, he came out, and this is when we had our first batch of chickens. They were still small, and he was going after those chickens, so I had no choice but to get rid of him. I've gotten a lot more accustomed to the snakes, but I don't think there's any copperheads out here. Well, I don't want to say that. There's not been many, so I'm not too worried about it, but you never know. The thing I want to talk about real quick is everybody's fears. Everybody is afraid. They want to be afraid of something, and if they're not afraid, then they get online to look for something that will make them afraid. In the cicadas, I mean, that was just the one that blew me away. I don't even know what I was making a video about, but I was literally saying, stop being afraid. Oh my gosh, are you ready for those cicadas? They're coming your way. You're going to be the epicenter. It's going to be like biblical times. Well, then I'm going to be the only person in Missouri that's going to survive this, because like I said, my chickens love cicadas. I just proved it. Well, I don't know how much you saw it on camera, but I tried to show it to you. They love it, and I'll just eat the eggs and the chickens. Remember, we got 2 batches of chickens this year. We still got one in the camper. Carolyn's in there right now and cleaning that up. And they'll be coming out soon if we never get it to stop raining long enough. They'll come out. And I tried to say in every video, there's no reason to be afraid. Minimize your lives. Every aspect of your life, minimize. Stop expecting to be, excuse how I say this, a spoiled American. We are going into a third world country in my mind. And so you should just prepare for it now. And the only way to prepare for it is stop buying stuff. But preppers say, I have to buy stuff, I got a stockpile. No, you minimize. You get down to the bare essentials. Yeah, I hear these preppers tell you how to be prepared for every situation. If you live in an apartment, see, I got to be careful being down in the woods this time of year with these cicadas. Copperheads do get in the trees. So they tell you, I can't tell you how to be prepared in an apartment. I live out here in the country. You can't grow a garden in the apartment. Well, if you're trying to be prepared in an apartment and you're wanting to survive in an apartment, there's only one answer for you. Get out of the apartment. I can't afford anything else. Yeah, you really can. You just got to look. We found it. We minimized our lives. We found it. Bought this little place. I say it all the time, $4,500. Built us a little shed, a minimalistic building to live in. Do we need anything more? Nope. Well, Carolyn wanted a kitchen, so now we got that camper. But the camper was less than $1,000. It doesn't have to be the best. It just needs to have a kitchen that worked. And it doesn't even have a sink, running sink. She uses buckets of water. She just wanted an oven and a stove and some counter space and shelves. So the camper took care of that. So what do you need? Food, water, shelter, and defense. That's it. That's all you need. Armageddon's coming. They're going to eat all the vegetation. We're all going to die. Well, then don't eat vegetation. I eat meat. Again, minimalistically. I don't need a lot of stuff. The thing is once you start eating meat, everybody talks, oh, meat's too expensive, you can't afford it. Well, don't eat the steaks. But once you start eating meat, you need less food. You actually consume less food. There's more calories in meat, so I guess, I don't know the science of it. I just know that we don't eat near as much as we used to. We've lost weight, we're healthier. So I don't need medications. Once again, minimalistically. My eye is getting better. I just got an email today. I'm gonna comment on your mindset about doctors. You have to like doctors. Doctors are gonna save your life. He was talking about cancer. I was talking about doctors, and the only thing he heard was cancer. If I get cancer, I'm gonna go to a doctor because that's my best shot of surviving. And then at the end of the comment, he says, keep the faith, brother. I have faith. I have faith. I know where I'm going to go when I die. I'm not afraid of death, but I don't keep the faith with doctors. They have no interest in me other than to make money. They don't care if I live or die, but my faith does care. And I know that I will always be happy. So I'm not afraid to die. If I get cancer, there's a lot worse things than I could think of. Trying to survive chemo and, oh yeah, it's painful. You're gonna hate every minute of it. Okay, or I could just die and love every minute of it. Downsize your lives, you'll be happier, I promise. So if you'll click this up next box to take that video where I was talking about the chainsaw. So if I can inspire you to keep the faith so you can live your dreams. Thanks for watching.